Hi, today I'm going to show you how to make something really comforting. It's gluten-free and dairy-free, and I've been dying to make this recipe because I really wanted something with gravy in it. And so I'm going to take you along on my journey for smothered chicken. First of all, the spices, I needed to get that together. And what I did is I have some steak seasoning that I made. It's a copycat of the Montreal steak seasoning. Now, Montreal steak seasoning is not a brand name. It's just something that people call it. You can see it all over the place, different brands. And I took a tablespoon of that because it already has onion powder and garlic powder and salt and pepper and all that. Well, I'm going to add to it, I put a tablespoon of this. I added, for color, I added a teaspoon of smoked paprika because it's orange. And then I added a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of Italian seasonings, and a half a teaspoon of poultry seasoning because this is a steak seasoning, not a poultry seasoning, so I added a little bit of poultry seasoning to it. Below you'll see all the ingredients and instructions, and here we go. First of all, I'm going to take these spices, and I have 2 cups of gluten-free flour right here, and I'm just going to add that in there, and I'm going to whisk it around. Let me get a fork. Whisk that around in our flour because we're going to be dredging our chicken in this flour. So you need to get it mixed in there. It's going to spice the flour up so when we dredge it and fry the chicken, or saute the chicken, whatever you want to call it, it'll be all mixed in there. Okay, I'm going to start with the 1 onion that I have here, and I'm going to slice it in thin slices. I took the ends off, the root end and the top off, and I'm just making thin slices that'll saute up for our chicken. I have to be careful I don't cut myself. So when I get down to where I feel like I can't go any further, then I'm just going to take it and cut it at the end of it in half. Do the same thing with this, half. I'm using a whole sweet onion. I predominantly cook with sweet onions because I can get them. So my store, I just go there and whatever they say sweet onions, that's what I get. I have a little bit of skin right here that needs to come off. So let me do that real quick. And then I got a little bit of brown here. I'm just going to cut that off and continue slicing the onions. Go ahead and put that in the bowl that I had the seasonings in, so I'm not dirtying another paper bowl. You know you can wash them, right? You take them, as long as it's got that coating on it, I don't know what you call it, coating on it. It comes in most of the more expensive paper plates. And just if you have some dishwater, just wash it off. Don't get the paper underneath, just the top, and then you put it to dry, and you have a bowl that you don't have to throw away. Okay, first of all, I've got my chicken here. I'm going to use 3 pieces of chicken. This was frozen. This is how I freeze it. I put it in individual bags, and these are huge. I might have to cut them down into 6 pieces instead of 3. Okay. In fact, these are pretty big. I'm going to cut them down. I'm going to make 6 pieces instead of 3. We want them all to cook at the same time. So go ahead and cut them into 6 pieces. And then I am going to put the, I'm going to have to put the flour over here onto this plate. Make sure I mix it up again. And I'm going to need to get a paper plate to put them on when they're done. I guess I could use this one. It's wet. Okay, I'm going to dip it in here. Make sure it's covered real good. Make sure you don't add too much salt to your seasonings, because in my case, my steak seasoning has salt in it, so I don't want to add any more. And then don't want to add it to the flour either, because that'll make the chicken too salty. I don't know about you, but it's cold here. It's been running really cold. This is January, and we're into the teens, and it's not any fun to go out. Really, really cold. You got to have your gloves and everything. I'm going to have extra flour, and that's going to help with the gravy. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. One more. Let it stay over on the plate and kind of dry out a little bit. It'll help with the sauteing. Okay, I'm going to be back. Okay, we're over at the stove, and I have been heating up this skillet, medium heat, and I'm going to add the about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and we have 2 tablespoons of butter. Now, I can't eat butter. If you can, it's better anyway, but I can't eat it, so I'm going to use my plant-based butter. Put that in with the olive oil. Let that heat up. Start bubbling. Bubbling. It's almost like a small pan fry is what we're going to do. It's not a deep fry. It's just going to be a small pan fry. Wait till that gets up to temperature. And what we want it to do is start bubbling a lot. The butter melted. And then I'm going to start putting the chicken in there. First of all, I want to do the onions. I'm sorry. No, first of all, I want to do the chicken. I'm kind of confused because I just watched a video today on how to do this. This is going to take a while because this chicken's thick. Turn this up a little bit to medium high, and we're going to let this fry for a little bit. I'll be right back as soon as it starts frying a little bit better. Okay, we need to flip them over now. They've got a light brown coating. It's right where I wanted it to be. Sorry for the noise. Now because this is cooking, mostly in the middle, I'm going to move this big piece over here because it's brown, and start moving these in the center. We don't need these fully cooked. We just need the brown on the top of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the lid on, catty corner like this. See how you have the air coming out? And that way it's not splashing all over the place. I'll be back. Okay, they're pretty well fried. We'll turn the heat down to medium again. Put these on a plate. Now these are not done all the way because we're going to cook them in the gravy. I'm going to add my onions easily. I'm going to saute these onions and I'll be back. Okay, our onions are getting soft. I'm going to add a tablespoon of garlic. We don't want to add it and let it sit there. This needs to be in there for 1 minute. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of better than bouillon chicken. This is organic. Add that in there. Mix that in. Now we want to add some of that flour we had left. Going to add a little bit at a time. That was 1/4 cup. Mix that in. Starting to get bubbly. And it's starting to brown up a little bit. You got a lot of that flour that was on the chicken too. That's what's making it brown. I'm going to add a little bit more and mix that in. Now I already had all that oil in there to mix with the flour to make a roux. I think I'm going to add a little bit more butter. That's about 2 tablespoons. Oh my. Okay, now I want to add 2 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to whisk that around. This has got some bits on it. Get that off there. I don't want to leave anything out. I'm going to bring it to a boil so it'll thicken. As soon as it starts to thicken, I'm going to add the chicken back in there and turn it down to low and let it simmer for 45 minutes. I'll see you then. Hi, welcome back. We did our chicken and it cooked for 45 minutes on low, and I have a handy dandy thermometer here. This is just a cheap little thermometer that I got that has a round dial on it, and you need to get up to 165 for your chicken. And I kept testing it after 28 minutes or something. Well, it's kind of soon, but you know what I mean. And so I'm going to set up a plate here and show you how beautiful this is. And of course we got to have some gravy. I'm stirring it up around the chicken pieces. And slather it on here with the onions. And don't forget the mashed potatoes. The gravy on the mashed potatoes. And I'm glad that I did 2 cups of chicken broth because I really like gravy. There we go. Now this was pretty easy. I swear, my spoon just went down in the gravy. I'm having a hard time today. Anyway, I'm going to taste test the chicken, let you know what it tastes like. It's nice and tender and juicy. Let me blow on it for a little bit. I don't want to burn my mouth. Doesn't need any more seasoning. No more salt and pepper. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you give it a try. It's so hard for people that have to be gluten-free and dairy-free to make something they used to have a long time ago. And the thing of it is my recipe that I made, you can also add the real butter. You can add real flour. I wouldn't add as much as I did. I think I did half a cup. That would have been okay. But you can add your real flour, and it's just because it's gluten-free, dairy-free. I'm taking your recipe and I'm converting it. So I hope to see you again. Welcome all the new subscribers, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.